Back on the plane, here's a little plane tour. That was crazy. Crypto for dummies. Hello, another day. I've not been great at vlogging on this trip because when we go into the summit, it is so loud in there, so I get a little bit of b-roll, but like I also am learning stuff myself, so I don't really know what to say about crypto. But we have a bit of time to explore today. I unfortunately didn't fall asleep until like 6 a.m. because I lost my Invisalign and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was just laying there all night and I'm very tired now. Just getting ready right now. We went to a really interesting crypto party last night for a little bit. I'm not a big club person myself, so it didn't stay very long. But basically, if you guys aren't familiar with the world of crypto, there are these types of parties that you need to like own an NFT to go to, or they just seem exclusive. I mean, they are exclusive. Like, people probably pay a lot of money to be able to go to these parties. And here's the tea. It's like 95% a bunch of guys that like do crypto. You know what I mean? It's not like a crazy party. It's like people kind of just like that never go to parties, probably, it seems like, at a club. A very interesting vibe, I will say. Anyway, let's go check out stuff in Barcelona. Oh my god, you guys, crisis averted. I just found my Invisalign. Thank God. That was gonna be a huge annoying thing. I'm gonna be so careful with it now. I'm gonna buy an actual case. It was in this napkin I wrapped it in and I thought it got thrown away, and yep, here it is. We are ready to go. I'm gonna leave this camera here because I guess I do have a bag I could carry it in. I'll bring it. Let's go explore and find a converter that doesn't start sparking when I put things into it. Look at this like castle looking restaurant here. It's just so nice, this area, how you can walk and like wander through different alleys. I was for real so tired from not sleeping, but walking is really waking me up. Oh, they're cute. So it's kind of a far walk, but we're doing it. We're probably like a quarter of the way in.
That's it?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, it's cool to look around, and it's not like we're working out while we're here. Really, the only movement we can get in is walking. Found kind of a cooler route to take through this walkway here. How cute. It's like a whole shopping plaza area. It's cool how they block off the road, so it's just for pedestrians, no cars. Back here in the room, we all just kind of met up after dinner, but we literally went to dinner at one of the Gaudi buildings, like museums, which is a very famous architect here. So Monica and I actually realized while we were there that we had been to it before, but in that setting it was just so cool to be at like a dinner there, because they don't do dinners there. Like, that was a very special occasion kind of thing, so that was pretty cool. And then we also met the founder of Avalanche and talked to him a little bit, so that's cool. But I still am like, I want to learn more about crypto and stuff. To be transparent, I don't own any Avalanche, but now I'm like about to go look into it. After going to this, I feel like I got a ton of info, but I still am like, I want to go online and research more perspectives, because obviously at something like this, everyone's gonna be like hyped about it, but I think it's good to get like many different perspectives. So that's what I'm gonna do, and we fly back tomorrow, but it will be great because we're taking the jet. I mean, how crazy is that? It's ridiculous. All right, we are out of here, back to the airport. Hopefully nobody has COVID. Back on the plane, here's a little plane tour. Monica with her champagne. Super cool that it has these oval windows, so they're like bigger than a normal plane. Hello. Okay, I'm back. I'm in Washington right now, actually. As you can see, I have Teddy with me. This is the room that I redid over like the holidays, if you guys remember that. It looks better here and when the bed is a little more made. How cute is Teddy on it? He's just the cutest. But yeah, I flipped that curtain out. I had it the other way before and you guys corrected me. And this, I actually was meaning to put on that wall, but whatever. All right, so I wanted to do a little recap and kind of, I mentioned I wanted to do like a crypto for dummies thing. I don't mean that in like a mean way, but that's what I was looking for before the trip. Like, I was just confused about the whole thing. I just love that Ted is here with me. He's so cute. But yeah, okay, let's start with private jet recap, because that was an insane experience. A lot of people were like, how did you even get on that? So somebody that worked for the crypto company and just like has made a lot of money, I guess, paid for the private jet to bring a bunch of influencers there. And I think they really wanted it to just be like so that people would post and like talk about it kind of, but also just for fun. I'm not really sure. I would have been fine, honestly, flying there like just normally, because I could have gotten an actually direct flight from LA. But I mean, it was a really cool experience. Like I said, I believe it was $50,000 each way total for 12 people. So like 4,000 per person. So if a group of 12 people were going to fly first class anyway, it actually might be a little bit cheaper to do this, because first class can be like $5,000 to $8,000, or to 10 even, depending on when you buy it. So that is crazy. I think one of the best things about flying private is that you just skip all the lines. We all got there kind of late and the plane just had to wait for us. That is so crazy. Like, normally you would miss your flight and then you don't have to go through security. You can bring like as heavy of a bag as you want, which is so crazy. The plane that we were on had seats that faced each other and had tables in between. And then there was like this kind of couch thing and another seat that would recline fully back. Where I see a lot of benefit for this, like personally, I'd probably never really fly private, like even if I had the money to, because you really need like a group of 12 people for it to be worth it, because it's definitely like bad for the environment too. And it would just be like, what's the point of like just a few people flying that way? I think what was cool about it was everybody could just talk the whole time. When you're on a normal flight, you're really like facing forward. I mean, you can talk to whoever's next to you, but if it's a business trip, I think there's a lot of benefit for everyone being able to like move around and talk to each other and kind of like share ideas. So it was cool in that way, because literally the whole time we all talked and like had food, played some games, but because we all do like YouTube and stuff, it was some interesting conversations. I actually learned a lot on it. But that's where I think it makes sense for when businesses charter a private jet and they're flying with like a client, then they can like have those conversations on the plane, which is kind of cool. The food also was like really good. So I was nervous. I was like, are we gonna have food? Like, how does this work? There was one flight attendant and she was so cool. She had all these like crazy stories about people, like celebrities that had been on the flights and stuff, just like other people they had flown, and we were just all like, whoa. But there was one flight attendant and like she just like chatted with us for a while, because it's kind of a long flight, but then she would like get everyone like food and drinks and everything. Everyone was allowed to like request something that they wanted on the flight, and then the flight attendant, I believe when they're in the country we land in, goes and shops for all this stuff. So that's why we had Chick-fil-A on the plane, and it was warm too, because they have an oven, so they like kept it warm. It's because someone requested Chick-fil-A. I was like, this is crazy, like how do we have Chick-fil-A? And then we had like the most amazing charcuterie boards. Really just like once in a lifetime kind of experience, or maybe not once. That's me like trying to be like, oh, maybe I can go on one again. But honestly, I'm fine with like flying normal commercial airlines too. Like, I went back to that. Obviously I can't like afford to fly private. Yeah, it was really cool. And then also when we landed in Barcelona, you go to a separate customs area, so you don't have to wait in the line with everyone. You're in a completely different airport terminal that's like mini, and it takes, you know, like an eighth of the time. Again, that's where it probably makes sense for businesses, where like time is money, and an hour to a big corporation could be like tens of thousands of dollars, or maybe more, whatever. Like, it doesn't really make sense for me, but I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience. I thought it was so cool. But yeah, also one other thing that was crazy, there was a cake that they brought out, and they had like a knife to cut it, and it just hit me like, you never see a knife, like a big, like kind of like steak knife kind of thing on a normal flight. Like, that stuff isn't allowed. So it's just weird to be on a plane where like there are certain things that normally are not allowed, but on that it was like they were like, they can do whatever they want pretty much. So it was interesting. We also went 45,000 feet in the air, which is like way higher. That was crazy. All in all, it kind of felt like we were hanging out in somebody's living room. Like, it did not feel like we were on a flight. It was so wild. I feel like the only other time I would do that again is like if somebody organized it for some like crazy trip and it ended up being 4,000 a person or whatever. I mean, that would still be like quite a lot, but for a long flight like that, if you're gonna fly first class, I think it is more worth it to then fly private. Anyway, I don't know how I would ever get in that kind of situation, but that would be cool. So now, crypto for dummies. What did I learn at this summit? It is like a crazy world, the whole crypto thing. I actually one time met somebody like at the pool of the Beverly Hilton who was going house hunting the next day because he made a lot of money on crypto. And the thing about it is, like, to make a lot of money with crypto, I think you already have to have kind of a good amount of money, unless you're finding something that's like literally at 1 penny and then goes up to I guess how Bitcoin was probably at one point like worth a penny and now it's worth 40,000. Yeah, you probably could have put like $100 into that and be like super rich now. But most of it doesn't work like that. So crypto, I think, is like so risky. You have no idea what's gonna happen with it. And the big thing is there isn't really much of a way to use it yet, and maybe there will be in the future. And I wanted to really learn like what was different about Avalanche, because that's what we were there for. So obviously most people know there are those main coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then there are all these smaller coins that a lot of us like know nothing about. Like, I knew nothing about Avalanche before going to it, so I was like, what is this? I don't get it. How is it different from the other ones? I was just skeptical, to be honest. And Avalanche is kind of similar to Ethereum. Basically, like, stay with me here. Ethereum is different from Bitcoin because you can build things on it. So Bitcoin, it's like, I think you can build stuff on it, but people don't really, because for some reason it doesn't really make sense. But with Ethereum, you can build applications on it that can be used for different things. So people will they can do a lot more than just exchange the money, right? But Ethereum is very costly to make exchanges with. Like, to mint an NFT with Ethereum, it depends how many people are using it at the same time, but it can be as much as like $100. Okay, so basically with Ethereum, there's a bunch of computers on this network, and it can be a computer really anywhere in the world, and they all have to verify a smart contract. So basically it's running this complex code and working the computer really hard, and that's why there are gas fees when you like buy something with Ethereum, and that's why there's all this talk about it being bad for the environment, because basically these computers are running on like, they're like hot. You know when your laptop gets really hot, at least mine does, it will like burn my leg. So the way that Avalanche is different is they use proof of stake, which is a different way than Ethereum. It's just more efficient and less expensive. And while it's a newer coin, people think that it could kind of maybe overtake Ethereum because it's more efficient. However, and all of this is not financial advice, by the way, I just like am having a discussion on it and explaining what I learned, and you guys can comment down below what you know about it. So, however, Ethereum is changing, at least they've been saying they're going to change to that proof of stake model in late 2022. So, if that happens, Avalanche, it would probably go down. I don't really know. Who knows what it will do, but I can't imagine it's going to go up a whole lot. At the moment, it seems like Avalanche is a good platform for people to build new applications on because it's so efficient and cheap to do so. That's pretty much what it is that I learned. But yeah, you just never really know with this stuff what's going to happen. And then also, like, the US government doesn't really love crypto because it's harder for them to enforce things. So who really knows with that? Obviously, inflation is crazy, but you never know. I've seen what a lot of people do that I really think is smart is they put 1 to 5% of their net worth in crypto. That's a small enough amount that if you lost it all, you'd be okay. I mean, that's really with all investing, you want to do that. Yeah, people will put 1 to 5% in crypto, and then I think even further than that, you will, I mean, a lot of people will, what I want to do, they'll dollar cost average into really like a few different coins if they want to. I have mine set up to buy a little bit of some different coins every week. So it'll buy it when it's low, it'll buy it when it's high, it'll all even out over time. And it's really not much that I put in there. I think it's like $10. Like, really nothing. Not a lot. I don't know. Crypto, I'm still just like, ugh. I really hate the word crypto. I just don't like it. I feel like a lot of people are turned off by the word crypto because it sounds like cryptic, which, let's just find the real definition of the word cryptic. Having a meaning that is mysterious or obscure. I think because crypto sounds so much like cryptic, it sounds sketchy. It does, in my opinion. I think I don't really like that word at all. But I think Bitcoin sounds fine. Ethereum sounds fine. But whenever people are like, say the word crypto, I just am like, ugh, I don't like it. I know that's like a small, like, silly thing, but oh, my dad is doing more demo of that bathroom coming soon to a vlog. Okay, so I'll end this soon because my dad is like hammering at something. But basically, what I'll say is a lot of people think there's like a crypto winter coming where crypto could just like stay down for years at a time and then go back up. Really, no one ever knows what's gonna happen. And you've got to be careful whenever you see things where people are getting rich quick. It just is like, you know, there are all these stories about people that lost a lot of money and we don't focus on those as much, but they're out there. And yeah, crypto is kind of a weird thing. Anyway, I prefer to put my money in like real estate and normal stocks, but mostly real estate if I can. Also, okay, another thing I wanted to mention is like, I think with a lot of these things where people make a lot of money, most people are going to see it too late. If you're going to buy some kind of crypto coin that just blew up, it's kind of too late and it's probably going to go back down. And so many people do that just because they see the hype of it. You just really got to do your research. I feel like if you're anyone who's probably made a lot of money on crypto was really just in the know before everyone else. And so if you feel like you're just starting to learn about it, I would definitely be hesitant to put like a lot of money into it. I would maybe dip my toe in, learn more about it, but I don't know. I've heard where a lot of people learn about this stuff is from YouTube videos, from like Discord groups, chats like that, I think Reddit even, but I don't know. From what I've heard, Reddit might be the people who are like being really risky and crazy with it. But yeah, I do think it's interesting. And one thing I'll also say is the crypto world feels like all guys. That event, it felt like it was like all guys and like maybe like 5% girls. Especially at one point we like went to a club and it was just really odd because it was just so uneven. Like it's really funny actually. But that, I'm like, dang, that's too bad. Like that would be cool if it was more even. And it just seems like there are all these guys making a lot of money from it and it's like, come on girls, let's do that too. But I don't know. I mean, crypto isn't really my thing, to be honest. I just think a lot of things about crypto is people just trying to make money. Like the idea of Bitcoin makes a lot of sense. A decentralized finance system, I think that's really cool. But some of it, like when a creator makes a random coin and is hyping it up, I think that's really weird. I think anytime a celebrity is talking about crypto, I'm like, why? Especially if it's not one of the main coins, if it's like a smaller one, that's just a red flag in my opinion, because they're probably making a lot of money on it. Because whenever there's like a new coin, whoever made the coin, they can just decide to like give people tokens. And so they'll end up getting a lot for that reason. Like people who worked at Avalanche probably made a lot without having to like put money even into it because they were working for the like equity in a sense. So yeah, I think it's worth learning more about. As inflation is getting worse, I'm just like, I don't know, a world of decentralized finance makes more sense, but it will just be interesting to see. All right, that is gonna be it for this video. Stay tuned for more vlogs. All right, bye.